Evan's shoulders burned as he hoisted Princess Lyra onto his back, her small arms locked around his neck, her broken leg dangling limp. He adjusted her weight and started walking. 40 miles to the nearest uplink ridge. Rescue waited there. If the beacon worked. Gravel crunched under his boots. The ravine crash site shrank behind him. Twisted shuttle wreckage smoked in the purple dusk. He'd dragged the emergency beacon out first. 2 hours of clawing metal up sheer rock. His hands bled from the effort, but the ping triggered. Faint signal pulsed now, buying time. Lyra whimpered against his ear. Her breath rasped, hot and metallic-scented. Alien physiology, tough hides but fragile bones.
"Human, it hurts,"
she whispered in halting common. Evan kept his voice steady. No promises he couldn't keep. Wilderness Medic Rule 1. Assess, act, endure. Thirst clawed his throat after the haul. He uncapped his canteen. 1 swig for him. 2 careful sips funneled to her mouth. She gulped, spilling blue droplets down his collar. Half ration left. Enough for the march, barely. Wind howled across the ridge trail. Lyra's weight pressed heavier with each mile. Her legs swelled purple beneath the hasty wrap. Evan stopped at a boulder outcrop, knife out. He sliced his shirt hem into strips.
Cotton tore clean. Hold still.
Probed the fracture. Clean break, no compound. Splint from scavenged shuttle strut. Tied tight with shirt rags. She hissed. Iridescent scales flushing crimson. Why carry me? Lyra's wide eyes fixed on him. Gold-flecked pupils dilated in pain. You bleed. Leave Lyra. No such thing as leave behind. Evan tested the splint. Solid. Lifted her again. She settled lighter now, trusting. Night fell hard. Stars wheeled overhead, alien constellations mocking the trek. Evan's calves nodded. Step. Breathe. Step. Routine salvage run. Until the shuttle scream pulled him off course. Royal markings on the hull. Princess aboard, sole survivor. Her mother's forces scouring planetside. He knew the math. Rustle in the scrub. Evan froze. Lyra tensed. Eyes gleamed yellow 50 yards upslope. A ridge predator. 6 legs, razor spines, stalking low. Local menace, built for ambush. 1 wrong move, it pounced. Quiet. Evan slid a hand to his belt. Flare gun. Hatchet. Predator circled, saliva dripping fangs. Scented blood from his hands. It lunged. White magnesium burst blinded the trail. Beast screeched, recoiled. He charged. Hatchet swung in a tight arc. Blade bit shoulder hide. Black ichor sprayed. Predator slashed. Claws raked Evan's arm. Fire lanced muscle. He twisted, drove the hatchet home. Skull crack. It thrashed once, slumped dead. Lyra stared, speechless. Evan bandaged his gash with the last shirt strip, blood soaked through. Just a cat scratch. Hoisted her up. Marched on. Dawn broke as the ridge crested. Evan's vision blurred. Legs leaden. Water gone. Lyra slept fitfully against him. 40 miles down. Beacon intact in his pack. He crested the uplink ridge. Flat stone plateau. Wind battered. Unslung the device. Smashed the full power switch. Beacon whined to life. Pulsing strobe lit the sky. Signal screamed empire-wide. Horizon flickered. Searchlight stabbed from the east. Shuttles inbound. Royal sigils glowed on hulls. Engines thrummed closer. Lyra stirred. Mama's lights. Yeah, kid. Hold on. Shuttles banked hard. Troops repelled down. Armored figures rushed him. Varen Royal Guard, plasma rifles hot. Lead captain barked orders in sharp alien tongue. Evan knelt, easing Lyra to the ground. She clung a second longer. Evan. Friend. Guards surrounded him. Captain Joran Cuff loomed 4-armed frame blocking the sun. Scaled face scowled under helmet. Human, you touch the air. Saved her. Evan met the gaze. No flinch. Blood dripped from his arm. Joran scanned the splint, the beacon, the distant predator corpse. Rifle lowered a fraction. Queen demands proof. March with us, or die here. Evan stood. Legs shook but held.
Shuttles hummed, ramps dropping. Lyra scooped into a medic's arms.
She pointed at him. My protector. Captain gripped Evan's shoulder. Hard test. Evan didn't buckle. Joran grunted approval. Bored. Throne awaits your story.
Medics swarmed, injecting nanos into his wounds. Pain faded.
Evan stepped aboard. Palace loomed in the distance, spires piercing clouds. Rescue done. Politics just starting. Queen's voice crackled over comms. Human, you carry my blood.
Now prove your worth. Evan flexed his bandaged arm.
Routine turned royal. He followed the guards inside. Palace docking bay swallowed the shuttle. Evan stepped onto polished obsidian floors. Air hummed with incense and ozone. Guards flanked him tight. Joran led, suspicion etched in every stride. Lyra's cry echoed ahead. Evan! He pushed forward. Throne chamber doors parted. Queen Salith Varen rose from her seat. Towering, silver-scaled, crown of crystal thorns. Eyes like forged steel locked on him. Medics wheeled Lyra close. Splint gleamed under lights. She beamed. He walked 40 miles, Mama. Fought the spine beast. For me. Salith knelt, touched her daughter's face, then stood tall. Captain Joran reports truth. Human endurance defies scans. Evan nodded once. No bow. Practical man, not courtier.
Just did the job.
Court murmured. Figures in robes shifted. Minister Vire's tall front. Calculating eyes narrow. Majesty, protocol demands quarantine. Humans raid borders. This one invades our air. Salith's hand silenced him. He bridged death to my blood. Loyalty earns law. She faced Evan. Name your boon. Border alarms wailed, sudden, hollow screens flared. Enemy fleets massing. Tall's faction smirked. Evan scanned the threat. Salvage tech eyes spotted weak points. Let me scout the line. No conquest. Just survival. Salith studied him. Prove it without swords.
Evan rolled his shoulders. Routine again.
Done. Tal leaned in. Fail, human, and protocol reclaims you. Salith waved him off. He carries my trust. Lead the vanguard, Evanrook. Lyra tugged his sleeve. Stay brave. He ruffled her scales. Palace intrigue sharpened. Endurance built thrones. Rifles snapped up from the tree line. Red targeting dots danced across Evan's chest and the limp form on his shoulder. Drop the princess, Captain Joran Kef bellowed. The guard commander strode forward, armored scales glinting under double suns. His squad fanned out, claws tight on triggers. Evan kept walking. Dust caked his boots. 40 miles of jagged rock and spine beast trails weighed on his legs, but he locked his core. Lyra's shallow breaths warmed his neck. No drop, not now. Halt, human! Keth's voice cracked like thunder. You're surrounded. Release her or we fire.
Evan stopped 10 paces out.
He shifted Lyra higher, her splinted leg dangling secure. No shots. She's hurt bad. Fractured femur. Venom purge incomplete. He twisted to show the brace, salvaged alloy struts, synthweave straps taut. Medic first. Then questions. Guards exchanged glances. Scales rippled in unease. Humans didn't bargain with royals. Keth's eyes narrowed, yellow slits appraising the splint. Prove it's her. No tricks. Evan nodded once. Practical. He eased his right hand up, slow. Multi-tool first. Thumb flicked the holster. Tool clattered to dirt, blades retracted, scanner dark, knife next. Lefty drew the vibro blade, tossed it hilt first. It thunked beside the tool.
Keth signaled. A guard scooped them, eyes never leaving Evan.
Medkit. Evan unclipped the pack from his belt, heavy with gels and stims. Dropped it. Lyra whimpered, tiny claws digging his shoulder. He murmured low. Easy, kid. Almost there.
Sidearm, Keth growled.
Evan patted his thigh holster. Pulse pistol. Non-lethal. He ejected clip, cleared chamber, tossed the pieces separately. Silence, stretched. Wind hissed through thorn bushes. Evan's arms burned. Lyra weighed 30 kilos, dead weight since fever hit mile 30. Sweat stung his eyes, he blinked it away. Keth raised a scanner gauntlet. Blue light swept Evan head to toe. Beeped clean. No toxins. No trackers. He lowered his rifle a fraction. Convoy. Guards closed ranks. Two flanked Evan, prods humming. He walked steady, Lyra's head lolling against his jaw. Her scales felt fever hot through his shirt. The royal convoy loomed ahead, armored crawlers humming low, crystal spires marking the Queen's lead vehicle. Med drones hovered, lights pulsing.
Hatch hissed open. Queen Salith Varen stepped down.
Towering at 7 feet, silver scales polished to mirror sheen. Crystal crown thorns caught the sun. Her eyes, forged steel, fixed on the human. No flinch. She'd get her daughter whole. Salith glided forward, guards parted. She reached up, claws gentle on Lyra's back. My light. Evan knelt slow, knees grinding gravel. He lifted Lyra off his shoulder, transferred her arms to arms. Her weight lifted. His muscles screamed relief.
Lyra stirred. Evan. Mama?
Salith cradled her tight. Tears gleamed on silver cheeks. She locked eyes with Evan again. No words. Just the weight of a debt forged in wilderness. Keth cleared his throat. Majesty, scans clear. But protocols, silence.
Medics rushed forward, wheeled stretcher unfolding. She laid Lyra down. Splint untouched.
Human skill holds. Palace now. Evan straightened. World spun once. Dehydration hit. He caught himself on a crawler flank. Practical fix. Water salts. Later. Salith turned. You walked the death marches.
Carried her through storm crags. Name? Evan Rook.
Dust cracked his lips. Wilderness medic. Salvage tech. She nodded. Scales shifted like liquid mercury. Captain, escort him. Full guard. Keth bristled. Claws flexed. Majesty, humans radar borders. This one saved my air. Salith's gaze pinned him. Loyalty earns passage. They loaded into the convoy. Evan slumped on a bench, guards rigid across. Lyra's stretcher hummed beside. Drones injecting calmants. Her eyes fluttered open, locked on him. She smiled weak, waved tiny claws. Evan waved back. Kid bonded fast. Cross-species thing. Trust through action. Crawler lurched forward. Engines growled over dunes. Keth watched him like prey. How? Scans say you lack endurance glands. No scale armor. Flesh tears easy. Evan shrugged. Adrenaline. Stubbornness. Trained for it. Earth salvage runs. Arctic treks. He flexed fingers, calluses thick. Humans patch and push. Routine. Keth snorted. Routine defies our limits. My squad tires at 20 miles. Teamwork helps. Evan eyed the guard's rifle. You hold lines. We bridge gaps. Convoy crested a ridge. Palace spires pierced horizon. Obsidian towers wreathed in shield fields. Distant alarms wailed faint. Salith leaned from her compartment. Rook. Her leg? Your work? He nodded. Field splint. Aligned bone drained venom sacs. She fought fever hard. Lyra giggled soft. He sang human songs. Beast scared off. Salith's claws touched his knee. Cool, firm. Debt binds us. Heat rose in Evan's chest. Not fatigue. Her presence commanded, but gratitude softened edges. Alien Queen, mother first. Keth interrupted. Incoming report, Majesty. Minister Tal demands halt. Claims invasion protocol. Salith's jaw set. Ignore. He schemes while borders burn.
Evan caught it. Politics sharpening. Rivals saw him as threat.
Fine. Prove utility. Crawler docked Palace Bays. Guards hauled him out. Prods ready. Lyra wheeled ahead, calling back. Evan brave. Medic swarmed her. Salith paused at chamber doors. Turned to him. Inside. Truth awaits. Doors parted. Murmurs hit like waves. Robed figures shifted. Minister Varesh Tal front. Eyes calculating narrow. Evan stepped through. No bow. Job not done. Queen Salith rose from her throne.
Towering frame cast shadows. Captain Joran reports truth.
Human endurance defies scans. He nodded. Dust flaked his shoulders. Just did the job. Court gasped. Tal leaned forward.
Majesty. Quarantine. Humans raid. Salith's hand silenced him. He bridged death to my blood.
Loyalty earns law. She faced Evan. Steel eyes held. Name your boon. Alarms wailed sharp. Hollow screens ignited. Enemy fleets massing at borders. Red icons swarming. Tal smirked. Faction robes rustled eager. Evan scanned displays. Salvage eyes picked weak points. Flanked vectors. Shield gaps. Let me scout the line. No conquest. Just survival.
Keth tensed beside him.
Prove without swords. Evan rolled shoulders. Muscles protested, but routine called. Done.
Tal hissed.
Fail human. Protocol reclaims. Salith waved him off. He carries my trust. Lead vanguard. Evan Rook.
Lyra tugged his sleeve from stretcher.
Stay brave. He ruffled her scales soft. Bond sealed. Palace intrigue knifed deeper. Guard prods hummed at his back. Border fleets closed. Evan breathed steady. Endurance built bridges. Thrones followed. Salith's gaze, locked on Evan. Truth audit. Now.
Guards shoved a sensor chair toward him. Cold metal clamps hummed to life.
Evan sat. Circuits scanned his skin, pulsing blue. Court robes rustled, whispers sharpened. Minister Tall thrust a data slate forward. Majesty, kidnapping charges filed. This human seized the princess. Confine him. Protocol demands it. Evan flexed his fingers, sensors whirred louder. No flinch. Just facts. Salith raised a hand. Steel eyes bored into Tall. Proof first. Human, epic your log. Every step.
Evan leaned forward. Chair restraints clicked tight.
Rescue started at crash site. Timestamp. Cycle 47.2. Hour 3. Mark. Wreckage. Smoking. Lyra pinned under debris. Leg compound fracture. I cleared rubble first. 2 minutes. Stabilized her neck. No spinal damage. Court physicians leaned in. Scales on their necks flared doubt. Tall sneered. Lies. Humans conquer. He planned abduction. Decision 1. Splint leg. Used salvage straps and hull foam. Pressure to stop bleed. Timestamp. 3.
Mark 5. Carried her out.
Hostiles tracked us. Evaded by mudslide reroute.
Captain Joran Keth activated the floor map.
Hologrid lit up. Wreck site glowed red. Palace far blue. Evan stood. Restraints released with a hiss. He stepped onto the map. Shadows danced under his boots. Here. Wreck icon pulsed. Debris here. I dug. His hands mimed lift. Lifted invisible weight. Court gasped. Lyra watched from her stretcher, eyes wide. Path this way. Evan traced the route. Fingers cut ravine lines. Mudslide at 4.Mark 12. Used it for cover.
Mine 90. Routine trek.
Demonstrate the splint. Evan knelt. Guards handed foam mock-up and straps.
He wrapped it tight on a hollow leg projection.
Foam hardens in 30 seconds. No infection risk.
Physicians clustered. One probed the sim.
Impossible fieldcraft. Our med pods take hours.
Tall. Slammed his slate. Trickery.
He invades our borders. Fleets mass his kin signal them. Alarms blared again. Hollow screens showed red swarms closing. Evan glanced. Weak flank glowed, but he stayed on map. Timestamp 5, Mark 8. Reached outpost. Called your guard.
Joran arrived. End log.
Silence hit. Sensors beeped green. Truth verified. Salith rose. Protected guest status granted. Evan Rook serves Vanguard. Tall's face twisted. Formal challenge sworn. Protocol duel. I claim regency till proven. Joran gripped his blade hilt. Lyra whimpered. Evan rolled shoulders. Dust still clung. No swords. Scout first. Salith's eyes softened a fraction. Prove it leads to survival. Guards herded Evan out. Tall's whisper trailed. Human falls. Throne mine. Evan gripped Lyra's stretcher edge. Her small hand clutched his. You saved me. Scales warm under his thumb.
Corridors blurred.
Joran flanked him. Tall maneuvers deep. Watch flanks. Evan nodded. Palace hummed with schemes. Border threat loomed. Routine called. They reached guest quarters. Door sealed. Evan stripped gear. Muscle screamed from Trek. Splint demo replayed in mind. Physician's awe stuck. Lyra's voice piped through intercom. Evan, Mama says stay close.
He touched a line.
Right here, kid. Sleep tugged. Alarms echoed faint. Dawn cycle broke. Joran banged the door. Vanguard assembles. Tall blocks your shuttle. Medkit slung. Salvage scanner clipped belt. Path around? Joran smirked faint. Through armory. Prove endurance. Armory clanged. Guards stared. Tall's faction lingered. Eyes knives. Evan ignored. Grabbed recon drone parts. Assembled mid-stride. Flank scanner. Pings gaps. Shuttle bay roared. Engines hot.
Tall blocked ramp, robes billowing. No human flies royal mark.
Salith's voice boomed from overhead. He carries my seal.
Tail stepped aside. Venom glare. Shuttle lifted. Dars wheeled. Border void churned. Red fleets massed. Evan scanned from cockpit. Weak vector. Sector 7. Shields thin at pulsar edge. Joran plotted course. Risky. Our ships shatter there. Evan patched med scans. Lyra's triage proved it. Adapt. Fleets closed. Enemy bolts scorched hull. Evan braced. Dive now. Shuttle twisted. Pulsar flare blinded sensors. They ghosted through gap. Enemy formation fractured. Joran whooped. Human eyes see impossible. Evan plotted return. Data streamed. Invasion stalled. Palace illumined. Docking clanged.
Salith waited, Lyra at side. Court packed bay.
Tal pushed forward. Scout lies.
Challenge stands. Evan dropped data crystal. Log complete. Gaps sealed. Fleets retreat. Sensors lit green again. Cheers erupted. Tal paled. Salith gripped Evan's arm. Her touch lingered. Warm scales met calluses. Lyra hugged his leg. Bond tightened. Joran clapped back. Vanguard yours. Tal retreated, robes swirling. Evan scanned faces. Palace shifted. Endurance won throws, but alarms flickered new. Inner faction. Stirred. Tal's next move brewed. Salith leaned close. Stay. Rule with me. Evan met her eyes. Compassion sealed it. Shuttle bay cleared. Guards escorted. Lyra skipped ahead. Joran covered rear. Guest wing gleamed. Evan entered. Door hissed shut.
Intercom crackled. Salith's voice.
Truth binds. Tomorrow, court yields.
He unpacked kit. Splint phone gleamed.
Routine built empires. Night deepened. Lyra slipped in, nurses trailing. Story time? Evan lifted her. Leg splint firm. Rescue log kid. She giggled. Scales shimmered. Corridor shadows moved. Tall spies. Evan tensed. Hand on scanner. Protection never ended. Dawn brought summons. Throne room packed. Tall front. Challenge blade drawn. Salith seated. Prove without conquest. Evan stepped up. No weapon. Just log slate.
Endurance terms. Tal laughed.
You die human. Joran tensed. Lyra clutched throne arm. Duel. Scout sim. Survive my path. Hollow ignited. Border chaos replayed. Tal gripped controls. Ships smashed. Evan's turn. Flawless weave. Pulsar dodge. Victory pinged. Court roared. Tal staggered.
Blade dropped. Salith stood.
Evan Rook, co-ruler named. Tal dragged away. Factions bowed. Lyra cheered. Salith's hand found his. Romance sparked. Border secured. Palace his. Endurance ruled. But deep scans pinged. Tal escaped brig. New threat brewed. Evan breathed steady. Bridge held. Lyra's small hand tugged Evan's sleeve in the dim service corridor. He spun, scanner mid-sweep. Princess? Guards let you wander? She grinned, scales iridescent under the emergency strips. Slipped past. Wanted story, leg etches and splint.
Evan knelt. Checked the phone brace. Firm.
No swelling, suite's no place for midnight hikes. Come on. He scooped her up. She weighed light as a pack frame. Corridors hummed with palace vents. Post-duel quiet, but Tal's escape pinged his alerts. Co-ruler title felt raw. Compassion trapped him here. Routine did the rest. Lyra nestled close. Papa Evan, tell Pulsar dodge again. Safety first. Her suite doors parted with his override code. Salith's gift. Inside, nurses bolted upright. Captain Joran Keth stormed from the antechamber, blade half drawn.
Human! Explain!
Evan set Lyra down. She found me in the service run. Single watch failed. Keth's frills flared. Suspicion etched deep. My rotations hold. Child's whims test them, not whims. Gaps. Evan tapped his slate. Post 2 layer. Inner coordinate doors, outer in vents. Motion grids on. No repeats. Keth's eyes narrowed. Competent guard, but palace protocols blinded him. You command my watch now? Protect her. I fix gaps. Evan met his gaze. No bluff. Lyra yawned, climbed into bed. Nurses fussed blankets. Keth grunted. Done.
Double shifts. Report at dawn.
Evan lingered. Sleep tight, kid. Her eyes sparkled. Bond sealed tighter than splint foam. He slipped out. Guest wing called. Kid unpacked. Scans running.
Salith's hand on his lingered in memory.
Romance sparked, but threats brewed. Tall loose. Bridge held. Hours ticked. Palace slept. Evan's scanner chirped. Sweet anomaly. Climate feed dropped. He bolted. Corridors blurred. Boots pounded grates.
Suite doors jammed. Override fritzed. He punched manual release.
Hiss. Frost rimed the frame. Inside, air bit cold. Lyra shivered under blankets, scales paling. Nurses huddled, breath fogging. Feed cut. Hypothermia cascade. Keth burst from side door. Frills iced. Sabotage. Vents sealed. Evan ignored him. Scanned Lyra. Core temp plunging. Alien physiology. Scales trapped heat, but cascade froze blood flows fast. Routine wilderness fix. Now, he yanked nurse's thermal wrap, split it with multi-tool, stuffed insulation gel from his kit, salvage standard. Keth barked orders. Guards swept halls. Evan traced wall panel. Climate feed sabotaged, line severed clean. Saboteurs work. Towels shadow, no time. He pried access grade, wire sparked. Manual bypass. Twist conduits, jumper cables from belt pouch, fingers numb in cold. Clamp. Solder with plasma torch, hiss of melt.
Air wheezed back. Warmth flooded.
Lyra whimpered. Evan knelt, pressed gel packs to her torso. Neck vents. Rubbed scales, gentle circulation kick. Breathe steady, kid. Routine thaw. Her eyes fluttered open.
Cold. Papa Evan.
He wrapped her tight. Body heat layered his human endurance baseline.
No quit. Feeds live? Impossible. Cascade irreversible. Bare hands. Systems locked.
Evan shrugged. Salvage tech.
Wilderness med. Cuts happen.
Lyra gripped his arm. Color returned.
Bond deepened. Her trust reshaped guard stares. Alarms wailed distant. Keth spun. Fugitive. He charged out. Evan followed. Lyra secure. Corridor shadows shifted. Technician bolted. Grease-stained, towel's sigil tattoo faint on neck. Keth lunged. Tackle clean. Blade pinned the man's throat. Talk. Tech writhed. Protocol. Human threat. Palace lights flickered. Grid strain. Deeper sabotage. Evan knelt by Lyra's bedpost. Stay put. Scanner out. Scans pinged grid nodes. Multiple cuts. Tal's pawn. Spill routes.
Salith's voice boomed intercom.
Status. Lyra stable. Saboteur caught. Grid flickering. More cuts. Pause.
You hold throne wing. My shuttle inbound.
Court convenes emergency. Evan nodded to empty air. Compassion started this. Endurance ruled it.
Stay?
Always.
He adjusted packs. Routine built empires.
Guards doubled vents. Keth returned. Blood on knuckles. Confessed. Tal's faction. Freeze her. Blame human incompetence. Proof? Logs uploaded. Your bypass saved her. Feeds viral in guard nets. Alien murmurs spread. Human warmth defies cascade. Keth clasped arm. Rare grip. Test passed. Again. Throne needs you. Romance tugged. Salith's eyes would spark fiercer now. But flicker deepened. Lights dimmed. Evan tapped slate. Deep scans. Brig breach vector matched service runs. Tal's spies nested. Vents first. He led. Joran flanked. Wires dangled. Fresh cuts. Sabotage web. A shadow hissed. Second tech lunged. Vibro knife high. Evan sidestepped. Grabbed wrist. Twisted. Joint pop. Knife clattered. Keth pinned. Network. Evan bound him. Tal's play. Frame me. Sees through protocol. Lyra's voice piped from comm. Papa Evan win? He smiled. Endurance terms. Syleth arrived. Shuttle wine faded. Robes swirled. She knelt by Lyra. Then rose to Evan. Bare hands again. Court sees. Hand found his. Heat matched packs. Interspecies spark, trust absolute. But grid bucked. Lights out. Emergency reds pulsed. Backup klaxons. Border incursion. Raiders inbound. Tails gambit. External threat to mask internal coup.
Evan breathed steady. Kit ready.
Shields up. I scout sim paths. Real weave. Syleth nodded. Rule with me.
Compassion breached. Palace's forge.
Guards rallied. Joran barked vectors. Evan patched grid node torch flare-lit faces. Raider probes pinged scopes. Evan dodged sim style, flawlessly. Aliens gaped. Human normal, extraordinary. Lyra cheered from suite. Bond reshaped all. Flicker steadied. Threat brewed deeper. Tails escape trail led off world. Evan gripped slate. Bridge held. Routine endured. Salith leaned close. Stay. Beyond rule. Eyes met. Compassion sealed deeper. Shuttle bay cleared anew. But this time, Minister Varish Tal thrust a crystal tablet forward. By the right of exile, the human outsider must prove endurance beyond palace walls. Public trial at dawn, or forfeit claim to royal favor. Evan stood rigid in the throne chamber, guards flanking him. Salith's eyes narrowed from her dais. Lyra clutched her mother's robe, wide-eyed.
Denied, Salith snapped.
Evan saved my daughter. He stays. Tal smirked, robe swirling. Law binds even queens. Right demands it. Survival trial. 3 days, wilds beyond the walls. Fail, and he leaves. Empty-handed. Murmurs rippled through the court. Juran Keth gripped his blade hilt, gaze locked on Evan. Accepted. Captain Keth escorts as witness. Non-lethal oversight, no interference. As commanded, Majesty, no protest. Routine trek. Kit packed light, med scans, cordage flares. Dawn broke cold.
Shuttle dropped them at cracked Badlands edge. Tal's broadcast drones hummed overhead. Eyes for the Empire.
Keth's squad fanned out. 6 armored Varen guards, rifles slung. Prove it, human, Keth growled. Or die trying. Evan nodded. Scanned terrain, ravines, thorn scrub, distant spires. Goal, shelter first. Signal next. He dropped pack, uncoiled cordage. Stakes drove fast into shale. Tarp snapped taut over frame. Windproof lean-to in minutes. Guards gawked. Fast work, one muttered. Evan strung signal line. Monofilament web to flares. Trip tied to perimeter. Pulls if breached. Lights sky. Keth prodded the setup. Clever, but endurance? March. Evan paced them out. Steady rhythm. Human method. 20 minutes hard. 5 breathe. Conserves. We push. Constant. Evan led. Boots crunching gravel. Guards matched. First hour, they lagged. Second, synced.
Sweat beaded on alien scales.
Works, Keth admitted. Lungs burn less. Drones word approval. Tal's voice crackled. Day 1 endures. Night fell sharp. Evan portioned rations, dried packs, water tabs. Taught fire start. Ferro rod sparks. Flames crackled. Lyra's comm pinged private.
Papa Evan, okay. Building strong, kiddo.
Salith's followed. Survive. Return. Dawn 2. They broke camp efficient. Evan scouted ahead, marking safe paths. Keth covered flanks. Crack rifle fire split air. Bolt scorched rock. Raiders boiled from ravine. 20. Ragged cloaks, pulse rifles hot.
Not wild bandits. Coordinated.
Targeting badges, royal escort. Ambush! Keth roared. Squad dropped 2, but flankers wheeled. Capture the Queen's dogs, Raider lead bellowed. Nets launched. Evan dove, yanked Keth down. Retreat, running pace, now. Bolts chewed dirt. Guards fired back, felled 3. 1 guard. Rill took shard to leg, screamed down. Raiders closed. Evan slung rifle from pack, snapped aimed shots. 2 dropped, defensible high ground, spires, 2 click north. Keth hauled up. You lead? Follow. Evan scooped Rill over shoulder. Human grip locked. 180 pounds, no strain. Routine carry. Squad bounded. Evan set pace. Burst 20. Evade 5. Thorn scrub whipped legs. Raiders pursued. Nets whistling.
Human carries wounded,
A guard yelled. Like pack beast. Endurance. Evan grunted. Rill groaned. Med patch sealing bleed. Keth laid suppressive fire. Flankers incoming. Evan veered ravine lip. Down, slide. They plummeted shale chute. Rifles braced. Raiders overshot, cursing. Evan hit bottom rolling, roll secure. Pulled squad into crevasse. Narrow defile. Boulders stacked. Choke point, he said. Hold here. Guards barricaded. Raiders probed. Bolts ricocheting. Keth patched calm. Majesty Raiders hit trial site. Tal's timing? Salith's voice cut static. Confirmed. Border probes spiked.
Hold. Reinforcements outbound.
Drones exploded overhead. Raider jammers. Tall's broadcast cut. Evan checked Rill, pulse steady. Fracture braced. Walk soon. You hauled him. 2-click run, no falter. Evan scanned scopes. Raiders massed 50 now. Heavy weapons hummed. Net launchers, a guard warned. Evan rigged flares on cordage. Trip it on approach. Raiders charged. Line snapped. Sky bloomed red.
Blinded, they faltered. Squad picked 5.
But heavies barked. Rock shattered. Another guard winged.
Evan grabbed Keth's arm.
Fall back deeper. Caves link spires. They retreated tunnel dark. Evan torchlit path. Med scanned for pitfalls. Echoes chased. Cavern opened. Ledge overlook. Raider shouts faded outside. Keth slumped against wall. Tal framed this. Right to expose us. Evan nodded. Rationing water. Spies tipped them.
Endurance wins.
Lyra's comm flickered weak. Papa Evan? Scary noises. Safe, Lyra. Building bridge. He patched signal booster, slate jury rigged to drone wreckage. Saleth broke in. Evan. Holding defensible. Wounded stable. Raiders royal hunt. Capture for leverage. Pause. Keth? Human leads true, Keth said. Extraordinary normal. Extract inbound. 1 hour. Tal confined, his protocol crumbles. Raiders blasted entrance. Dust choked. Evan stood. Hour starts now. He led charge back. Flares first. Rifles second. Guard surged renewed. Human pace broke Raiders' rhythm. 10 down.
Shuttle wine pierced.
Varen gunships strafed. Raiders scattered. Evan lowered Rill as ramp dropped. Kef clapped shoulder. Trial passed. Beyond. Back in palace, Silith waited bayside. Lyra ran into Evan's arms. He knelt. Steady. Tall dragged in chains. Right unbroken. Human threat. Salith silenced him. He saved my guard. My blood. Proof enough. Court bowed. Evan met her gaze. Hand brushed his. Heat lingered. Rule with me, she whispered.
Border scopes pinged anew.
Larger force massed.
Tall smirked from cell feed.
Evan gripped kit. Compassion forged steel. Bridge held, but war knocked. Evan thrust the Raider's comm device into Queen Salith's scaled palm. Her claws clicked against its cracked casing. The palace bay thrummed with gathered courtiers. Varen nobles in iridescent robes, guards rigid at attention. Lyra pressed against his thigh, her small hand gripping his salvage pants. Keth stood steady beside him, shoulder bandaged but stride unbroken. The escort lived. Every one. Salith's golden eyes narrowed on the device. Logs. Now, Evan nodded. He'd cracked the encryption en route. Wilderness medic trick, jury rigged with drone parts, Tal's codes, direct orders, capture the child. Frame the human. Time-stamped yesterday. Tal rattled his chains from the guard's hold. Lies, forged by off-world scum. Quiet. Salith activated the slate. Holologs bloomed. Minister Varish Tal's voice crisp and commanding. Leverage the princess. Expose Keth's weakness. Protocol demands purity. Raider replies confirmed receipt. Funds traced to Tal's accounts. Courtiers hissed. Whispers swelled to outrage.
Salith's tail lashed. Treason.
You engineered the hunt. Endangered my blood for your throne grab. Tal sneered. The human invader leads you.
He? Silence.
Her voice cracked like thunder. Guards slammed him down. Strip his titles. Confine him to the deep cells. No rights. Nobles bowed low. As law binds, Majesty. Evan exhaled. Lyra tugged his hand. He knelt, ruffled her frilled crest. Safe now, kiddo, she beamed. Tiny fangs glinting. Papa Evan's strongest. Keth clapped his back. You walked us out. Human normal. Varen legend. Salith dismissed the court with a gesture. Bayside cleared to echoes. Only her inner circle remained. Kef, 2 aides, Lyra scampering to a nursemaid. Tal dragged away, still spitting curses. She turned to Evan. Scales shimmered under bay lights. Deep indigo edged silver. My guard. Proof beyond words. He shrugged. Kit slung over shoulder. Anyone would. Not here. Her gaze held his. Heat from her earlier touch lingered in memory. Varen law repays loyalty with law. Serve as royal protector consort. Bind to throne. To me, courtiers froze. Keth's spine stiffened. Evan blinked. Crown? No. Protector consort. Interspecies bind. Her world. Her rules. But Lyra's safety first. Terms. Salith stepped closer. Fragrance like spiced ozone filled his nose. Full authority.
Defensive realm. Lyra's wardship.
My side. Steady. Lyra's safety tops everything. No offense, but I don't conquer. Limit my power. Defense only. No politics, no commands beyond protection. An exit clause, if war pulls me, or threats end. Bold. Sylith tilted her head. Claws traced his arm, light, testing. You negotiate like you trek. Practical. Keeps bridges standing. He glanced at Lyra, now watching wide-eyed. For her. Pause, stretched. Her tail brushed his boot. Agreed, defense paramount. Lyra's shield eternal, binding right at dawn. He nodded. Handshake sealed it, her grip firm, warm through glove. Sparks jumped. Not static, Lyra cheered. Papa Evan stays. Keth grunted approval. Tests passed. Salith's smile flashed. Rare, sharp. Rest.
Endurance earned it. Evan followed a guard to quarters.
Stone halls gleamed. Palace hummed with repair crews post-raid. He collapsed on the bunk, kit unpacked. Med scans clear. Water rationed mental tally full. Alarm blared. Red lights pulsed. He bolted up.
Door hissed open. Keth burst in. Rifle slung. Tal escaped.
Deep cells breached.
He's broadcasting. Evan grabbed Kit. How? Inside help. Border scopes lit, his faction massing.
They sprinted to throne chamber.
Hollow screens dominated. Tal's face, snarling from a shuttle feed. Varen loyalists. The queen surrenders to human conqueror. He grips her throne, her child. Purity protocol demands war. Cheers erupted from his image. Raiders, defectors. Fleet signatures bloomed on tactical, dozens of ships edging the border nebula. Salith stood at the dais, claws clenched. Lyra huddled behind her throne.
Courtiers murmured panic.
Evan pushed forward. Logs again. Show them. Too late, Salith's voice edged steel. He's rallied the fringe lords, claimed my betrayal as conquest. Keth barked orders. Gunship scramble.
Shields up. Evan knelt by Lyra.
Hey, remember the caverns?
We hold, she nodded, clutching his sleeve. Small claws pricked. Salith descended. Your terms hold, consort. Defend. He rose, scanning feeds. Human eyes picked patterns. Raider weak flanks. Nebula drifts for ambush.
Flank them here. Finger stabbed hollow.
My pace. Your guns. Her gaze locked. Trust burned. Lead. Explosions rocked the palace.
First salvos hit shields. Tal's voice boomed. For purity.
Death to the human king.
Evan gripped rifle from Keth. Compassion steeled to steel.
Bridge held. War charged across it. Shields flickered. Gunships launched. He ran for the bays, Lyra's cry echoing. Papa Evan. Salith matched stride. Together, border fleets closed. Tal's claim ignited the void. Evan's hand found hers. Claws to callous. Rule or ruin hung on his next trek. Evan gripped the gunship's harness as it screamed through the nebula's edge. Captain Keth sat opposite, claws locked on his rifle. Alarms blared. Tal's faction raced ahead, shuttles laden with defectors, bound for the border relay. They're minutes from activation. Keth growled. His scaled face twisted in suspicion. One wrong move, human, and I space you. Evan checked his salvage kit. Wires. EMP pulse. Routine fix. Eyes on the prize. Relay first. The gunship shuddered. Enemy fire grazed shields. Keth barked coordinates. Pilots wove through debris clouds. Evan's human eyes pierced the glow. Relay tower loomed. A spire of Varen tech pulsing blue. Drop us hot, Evan said. Ramps slammed open. Wind howled. They rappelled down, boots hitting relay plating. Rebels swarmed the base, 24 rifles hot. Bolts scorched air. Evan sprinted low. A bolt clipped his shoulder pauldron. Pain flared, ignored. He slapped a charge on the access hatch. Boom. Door buckled. Inside conduits hummed. Control nexus ahead. Footsteps thundered. Rebels closing. Keth burst in behind. Flank left. Evan dove right. He yanked a panel, fingers flying over alien circuits. Human salvage tech bridged gaps. Reroute power here. Overload there. No kills. Just shut down. Sparks flew. Rebels piled in. Keth fired precise bursts, legs only, forcing retreats. Relays locking, a rebel shouted. Evan jammed the EMP pulse. Core whined, then died. Lights flickered out. Relay went dark. No signal to fringe lords, no war trigger. Rebels faltered. Keth's voice boomed over comms.
Surrender corridors open. Protocol demands it. They broke.
Evan watched them file into glowing chutes, force fields herding them to holding bays. No blood. Clean disable. Keth holstered his rifle, stared at Evan. You bypassed the failsafes. Varen engineers take cycles for that. Evan wiped sweat. Just a trek.
Seen worse on scrap runs. Gunship extraction hummed.
They lifted off as Salith's flagship pierced the clouds. Talus hangar bays swarmed. Salith strode out, flanked by loyal guards. Lyra clung to her leg, wide eyes searching.
Evan dropped from the ramp.
Lyra spotted him. Papa Evan, she ran.
He knelt, scooped her up. Small claws dug in.
Safe, Salith approached.
Her gaze swept the captured shuttles. Tal's faction knelt in chains, broadcast live to the court holofeed. Minister Varesh Tal, Salith declared. Voice carried like thunder. You invoked purity protocol on false logs, framed a protector as conqueror. Witness the legal record. Holo projected, Tal's doctored feeds, Evan's clean intercepts from the cavern's rescue. Truth unspooled. Courtiers gasped via relay.
Tal snarled from his knees.
The human taints us. He. Salith silenced him with a claw. Arrested. Trial by full court. Fringe lords, stand down. Relay logs prove your deceit. Guards dragged Tal away. Cheers erupted not from rebels but loyalists. Salith turned to Evan. Lyra still hugged his neck. The bridge holds, she said. Claws brushed his arm. Warmth lingered. Court assembled in the open hall. Crystal pillars framed the throne days. Thousands watched. Nobles, guards, feeds beaming to the realm. Evan stood before Salith. Lyra at his side, gripping his hand. Keth flanked them, rifle slung but eyes sharp. Salith raised the oath crystal. It glowed, ancient law etched in light. Evan Rook, you rescued my heir, defended our borders. Prove your worth as protector consort.
Swear. He knelt.
Rough calluses met polished stone. Never wanted thrones, but Lyra's safety, non-negotiable. I swear, Evan said, voice steady. By human endurance and your laws, protect Lyra Varen above all titles. Rule only to shield her, no conquest. Just the trek home. Crystal pulsed acceptance.
Light bathed him. Courtiers murmured.
Aliens whispered, he prioritizes the child over power. Salith's eyes softened. Rare for a queen. Rise, protector consort.
The realm witnesses.
She lifted the crown, Varen circlet of nebula-forged alloy, sized for human brow. Placed it gentle.
Weight settled light. Lyra grabbed his hand tighter.
Mine, she beamed up at him. Court fell silent. No cheers. Awe. Keth stepped forward, saluted crisp. My blade serves. Salith's claws found Evan's. Interlocked. Together. Always. But alarms pierced the hush. Hollow flared, fringe lord signatures shifting. Not retreating. Advancing. Tal's lie lingered. War brewed anew. Compassion forged to steel. Another trek called.